The political supremacy battle for the control of the Kisii votes continues. Let's listen to a news item captured by Citizen, for that's going to form the basis of our analysis right now.
Now, Kisii Governor Simba Arati and Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu tore into each other in public over heckling during a funeral ceremony. The two leaders accusing each other of fomenting trouble, directed at each other, and drawing the County Commissioner Kibet Bowen into the exchange that had Governor Arati telling off both the CS and the administrator. As Crispin Otieno now reports, the showdown was sparked by a section of youth who booed the education CS as he read the president's speech at the Kisii Polytechnic grounds.
It was at the funeral ceremony of Kisii Polytechnic Principal Daniel Nyariki that the leaders publicly clashed on the issue of chaos witnessed across Kisii County. It started when Education CS Ezekiel Machogu was reading President William Ruto's speech. A section of the crowd started booing him on stage. An apparently angered Machogu directed his response towards Governor Simba Arati. The faulted Arati on his style of leadership. Machogu will then leave the podium without inviting the governor. When Governor Arati took to the podium, he gave back as good as he got, accusing Education CS of being part of the team orchestrating chaos in Kisii County through officers from the national government. And it had to agree on how to deal with the chaos, with accusations and counter-accusations only serving to fuel the fire.
Let's put that incident into perspective for Kenyans to understand it better. The heckling started as CS Education Machogu was reading William Ruto's speech. That in itself confirms that that crowd was against Ruto's speech, that statement. They are tired of William Ruto. They don't want to hear anything from him. That's why they were heckling. And also, if you look at Kisii, during the demonstrations, Kisii County was another epicenter of the demonstrations, a confirmation that if there is a place or an area in the country that is fed up of William Ruto's constant lies and promises, that place is Kisii. And that crowd did prove that today by heckling CS Education Machogu. Secondly, now that William Ruto is very unpopular in the Kisii nation, what does that portend for leaders supporting him? The ones such as Osoro and some leaders who recently decamped to Kenya Kwanza. As Ruto becomes unpopular in the Kisii nation, leaders supporting him are also getting unpopular. They are being seen as the leaders who are helping Ruto in oppressing Kenyans. So the likes of Osoro and these members of parliament supporting Kenya Kwanza government, they are getting more and more unpopular on the ground, and come the next election, they will find it very hard to retain their seats. They are being seen as collaborators in the oppression. And if you look at it from another angle, it's possible that as time goes by, most of those leaders will either go silent or they will altogether dump William Ruto, simply to be politically relevant in their respective constituencies. And already we have started seeing that across the country. In Western, some leaders who pledged their loyalty to Ruto are trooping back to the opposition. We saw that also at the coast. Across the country, leaders are slowly but surely dumping William Ruto. So as Ruto becomes unpopular on the ground, more and more leaders are likely to dump him. We've listened to Simba Arati taking on Machogu and the county commissioner. That in itself confirms that Arati has been pushed to the wall. He has to fight back for his political life. Because the moment he keeps silent or he plays it like a gentleman, the Kenya Kwanza leaders, that team does not know or understand politics of diplomacy. So I'm seeing a Simba Arati who has decided, kama ni mbaya, iwe mbaya. And from where I sit, I think that's a genius political move, because the only way to stop a dictator is to fight the dictator. It's a fact. Top leadership in Kenya Kwanza are using the local order leaders in the Gusii nation to fight the governor and to fight the opposition. If the opposition becomes weak, these local leaders supporting order, they will outrun them in that county. The only way to stop them is to fight them back. And this fight, the people should also be brought along, as it did happen today. Because I'm very sure that was a very strong warning to William Ruto and his allies in the Gusii nation. The people are tired. Next time they bring their shenanigans, they will be met with equal force. Something also coming out clearly from that, we've seen how the Kisii County Commissioner talks. You can confuse him for a politician. He's clearly playing politics. And that also confirms that William Ruto's government is using our police service to play politics. The main aim being to intimidate and to silence government critics. How I wish our police service should not take sides, but it's clear they are taking sides. They have become rogue. So Ruto's government is destroying these institutions. As I conclude, I never saw Osoro at that meeting. I don't know whether he skipped it, but chances are very high that Osoro had already known that crowd was going to be very hostile. So to avoid the shame of being heckled, he decided to skip that event. I never saw him. I don't know whether he attended, but if he was not there, it's clear he skipped it because he knew the ground is very, very hostile. Let's meet in our next analysis. Any person watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.